name is Dr. Paul Sommer. I'm here in the Communication Studies Department, and I focus on organizational communication. So I'm really interested in how we communicate in organizations. Particularly, I earned my PhD in organizational communication from Texas A&M University, and where I focused my research on communication in construction organizations. And so growing up, I came from a background where we did construction work, and so it was a good way for me to kind of put together my background and my history as well as my kind of academic life. And so I also earned organizational communication degrees from Ball State University, so I'm a Midwesterner at heart. I grew up on a farm in north central Indiana, and did my undergrad and master's at Ball State before I went to Texas A&M for my PhD. I'm married, have a dog named Scout, and my wife and I are expecting in April, so we're pretty excited about that coming up here this spring semester. My teaching style, I really try and balance challenge with support. I'm there to introduce some new topics to students and get them excited about some different ideas that maybe they haven't come across before. And so I really like to try and challenge them a little bit with their previous experiences and ideas about how, for example, we communicate in organizations or understand one another's communication, but also be there as a support system for them, to give them the tools that they need to be effective communicators in their organizational lives as well as in other areas, so that they're prepared for the workforce as much as possible. So for me, it's really that kind of shooting for that balance in the classroom and providing a really structured but supportive and fun environment in the classroom as well. I like to have a good time and make sure that we're all engaged and invested in the process. I think when I first started, I was scared to really again challenge students, right? And so I wasn't comfortable sometimes pushing them a little bit and getting them outside of their comfort zone, because I was still trying to figure out what my comfort zone was. And so, I think as I develop as a teacher, I can be more comfortable in that role, and I think I can serve as a better resource now that I've been teaching for a while and understand what good teaching feels like, and how to get students more engaged in topics and bring in different examples and ideas that can help them connect with the material. So I think I've come a long way in that regard, as well as just being more comfortable. I always tell the story that when I first started teaching, kind of like public speaking, we all have our things where we play with our hair or we do something like that. I used to pace around a lot when I first started teaching because I was really nervous, and so that was something that I had to learn about myself and develop a system for how I can manage my movement in the classroom, because that could be distracting for students at times. So that's definitely something that's changed for me over time, I think. It's a really good question. Much smarter people than I have tried to answer that. But I would say, based on my experience, I think we're going to continue to become a more renowned program in universities as people recognize the skills that we prepare our students with to go out into the workforce. Right now we still have a lot of students who transfer into communication studies from other disciplines once they take a few of our classes and kind of realize what our field has to offer and the different sub-disciplines that are available to them and different areas and majors that they can focus on. I think we're going to continue to grow as we have been in the last few years, and to become even more prominent as a major and a field of interest for employers, and our research is going to continue to kind of span the boundaries that we've really worked hard to do in terms of theory and practice and how it works for us and others in everyday life, work lives and relationships and that sort of thing. So I think we're going to continue to become a field that people really look to for answers when they have challenges, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that process. I think as we become more well known. Yeah, I think our students are really smart, engaging with our communication studies program here because, as I mentioned, we really prepare students in a very broad but also at the same time specific and applicable skill set that prepares them to be effective in their future endeavors, whether that be going into for-profit, non-for-profit, government work. We're well spoken. We know how to do research. We're prepared to do the work and understand the complex environments that we're going to be engaging in, and using critical thinking skills that can really, put us above other candidates out on the job market. So I think, and to do it here at Stark is a great opportunity to get that education in a financially responsible way, and I think that's one of the best benefits that we can get from this type of education here at Stark. You get the same quality education at a great price, and that's just a really smart thing to do. So I think it makes a lot of sense for folks to work with us here in this program. I would say the first thing that always comes to mind is that I'm half Swedish. So my mom was born and raised in Sweden, went to college there before she came over to the U.S. and met my dad. And the rest, they say, is history. But so I've always been very interested in intercultural communication. I don't do a lot of research in the area, but it's something that I'm very passionate about and interested in, and so that's something that I enjoy kind of keeping aware of as I do my work in organizational communication.